Can you hear us, Jeremy?
I can. Yep. Good evening, everyone.
So this is Jeremy Reding. He's our architect out of Seattle who's done all of the site planning for us, and he did the original site plan when we first proposed it in 2006.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
So you have the PowerPoint up. Is that my understanding correct?
Yep,
Are we going through that right now? Okay.
we're on the
It's a
first
little bit
slide.
quiet on that side, but sorry. Okay. So over the last couple of months, we've started working, developing the full master plan for the property as it expands and builds out. Part of this includes the tunnel on property. To orient yourself, you'll see the existing mill building and the silos highlighted in red. And the first section that we're going to kind of look at here is the tumble on section. If we blow that up, you can see that in the full phase out of this will become primarily a shipping and receiving center. So the gray buildings are what's there now, or the part of the tumble on build out. This will probably be redone all as one warehouse building. The street frontage side will probably have some offices and glass so people can kind of see production happening. And then we have parking on the west side there. But it's just kind of give you an overview of what that property is going to be developed like. If you go back now, the center part of this is the existing warehouse component. And this is going to be the main wine production. It's where they're currently making the Copa di Vino, and that'll still stay there. So we have large tanks on the north side. We'll probably have a bottling and large kind of tank farm in the center there, that new red building. And then the existing building will still be used pretty much how it is now. And then if you come out, the last component of this, which is the silo and mill building. This will further develop. Right now it's kind of the tasting room and hospitality portion, and the full intent then is to put a hotel in the silo building, as well as a restaurant and a working winery that people can be part of. So when you're looking at this, the parking would be on the east side there, and people will walk down the landscape path to the entrance to the hotel. To the north side of the hotel there, we have a little patio for an outdoor restaurant. And if you zoom in on the hotel, which is the next section we're going to look at, you can see how this starts to lay out. So we've taken it and put a plan, at least for a hotel to go in there so you can see how it works. It works pretty clean. So running down the center is the lobby portion. And those are highlighted in red. You can see those kind of all open, and you'll be able to look up the center two silos through all three separate floors. You'll see that here in a second. Access is provided by two elevators and two stairways that are highlighted in blue there. And then we have certain areas where we're going to try and showcase the wine making process. So the purple dots are showing areas that we could have wine tanks below that would be going through fermentation, and people could walk over and see that happening below, so they can be engaged in that overall process. Now, we go up one floor, and we'll essentially have 7 floors, all very similar to this one. You'll take up the elevator or the stairway, which is highlighted in blue, and access the circulation spine, which is all showing in green right now. And part of what this will include is access to the mill building for self-guided kind of museum-like tours. And that's what that green arrow up in the north corner is. And then lastly, all the rooms should show up here in red. And there's about 7 rooms per floor. And these we're going to try and take advantage. You're going to see that it's a round room, and we've talked about using round beds and potentially having round bathtubs, so you kind of get a good full experience of what that's like. Next slide shows how this works out in section format. So I showed you the lobby, which is kind of essentially a 7 floors of hotel rooms. So we'll be in the 54 range in terms of room count. On the top, which is the box that sits on top of the silo, will be the wine production facility, and then above that we're going to try and put in a roof garden. We've designed it such that it takes advantage of natural heating and cooling, so cool air comes down on the low side and will come up through the center of the hotel and exit out the top elevator shafts there. And then to let people see the wine experience, you'll see the kind of the purple area up on top. This is going to be kind of more or less a show winery people can see. So we'll bring grapes up in an elevator, they'll be crushed here, and then they'll be sent down through transparent tubes down into the barrel room for barrel storage. So people will see some of the process happening, so you kind of get this full wine experience in a hotel room in a silo. It's a truly unique experience, probably. Well, I know, it's never been done before. So you'll see kind of what the elevation, I guess, the east elevation of the hotel silo building. And it's a chance for there really to be something that's iconic for the Dalles area. And we're looking at a lot of different things. This is preliminary, but one of the things we're considering is an exterior metal mesh screen. The outside of these silos needs to be sprayed with concrete so we can meet our energy requirements. And we'll want to punch in windows at various locations. We'll want to punch in some holes to put in the flooring. And so by putting this exterior mesh on, it allows us to have some outdoor patio space and decks and punch holes where we want them, but then at the same time have a kind of a fun idea of maybe making this feel like it's wine bottles or a screen for vegetation to grow on. Like I said, it's pretty early. We're working on the next stage of showing stairs and all that kind of stuff, but just to give you an idea of the iconic capability of what this space could be. And there's been a number of similar hotel ideas done around the world, and here's just a few of them. So there's a precedent for this kind of work, and so we know it'll work. We've had a structural engineer look at it. It's nothing that's out of the realm of happening, and if anything you know about James and what he's done so far, is you know this is going to happen. In fact, you all part of it. So back to the overall site plan, and happy to answer